trapped in the storm. The wind howled against the cabin walls, rattling the wooden shutters like a warning. The storm had hit faster than expected, thick sheets of rain making the winding mountain road impossible to navigate. And now, Brooke and Rachel were stranded together. The old cabin wasn't much. Just a single room with a fireplace, a tattered couch, and a small bed pushed into the corner. The air inside was thick with damp wood and something else, something tense. Rachel pulled her wet hair back, frustration evident in her sharp movements. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. "We should have never taken that shortcut." Brooke, leaning against the wall with arms crossed, smirked. "You're the one who insisted we'd beat the storm." Rachel shot her a glare, but didn't argue. Instead, she peeled off her drenched jacket, revealing the soaked fabric beneath. It clung to her skin, tracing the curve of her waist, the rise and fall of her breath. Brooke swallowed, her usual cool demeanor slipping for just a second before she turned toward the fireplace. "We need to get warm. There should be extra clothes somewhere." Rachel moved to the small cupboard and rummaged through it. She found an old flannel shirt and sweatpants. "Only one set," she sighed. Brooke shrugged. "You wear it. I'm fine." Rachel hesitated, then started unbuttoning her shirt. Brooke turned away too quickly, as if forcing herself not to look. But the soft rustle of fabric, the sound of wet clothes hitting the floor, and Rachel's slow movements made it impossible to ignore. "Are you really not going to change?" Rachel's voice had an edge to it, challenging. Brooke exhaled through her nose, rolling her shoulders as if shaking off something heavy. "I'll dry off by the fire." Rachel, now dressed in the oversized shirt, stepped closer. The warmth from the fireplace flickered against her skin, making her seem even softer in the dim light. "You're shivering," she murmured. Brooke clenched her jaw. "I'm fine." Rachel sighed, stepping behind her. Then, before Brooke could react, she wrapped the thick blanket from the bed around both of them, pressing her body against Brooke's back. Brooke tensed. "Relax," Rachel whispered near her ear, the warmth of her breath sending a shiver down Brooke's spine. "You're freezing." Brooke closed her eyes. She could feel everything. Rachel's heartbeat, the slow rise and fall of her chest, the way her fingers lingered against the curve of her hip. The air between them grew heavier, the fire crackling the only sound between them. "Rachel." Brooke's voice was rougher than she intended. Rachel didn't pull away. Instead, she moved closer, lips brushing the bare skin just below Brooke's ear. "You always act like you don't care," she murmured. "But I see it." Brooke turned then, her movements sharp, almost defensive. But when their eyes met, something snapped. Rachel's gaze dropped to her lips for just a second, before lifting back up. The distance between them disappeared. Brooke's hands found Rachel's waist, fingers pressing just enough to make Rachel gasp softly. The sound sent heat pooling between them, and before either of them could think,